Okay, welcome to a lovely, cheeky little lesson. Welcome to a Mr. Mack-Poole lesson. I'm not going to do it in my kitchen today. So let's start here. So let's hope that this works perfectly. So slideshow from current slide. So really, we want to explore the causes and consequences of the Northern Revolt in 1569. As you can see, we got the two main perpetrators: Charles Neville, Earl of Westmoreland, Thomas Percy, Earl of Northumberland. And what you can see is that these two men are Catholics. They are Catholic rebels who hate Elizabeth and love Mary, Queen of Scots. It goes beyond that, really. There are deeper intricacies to history, obviously. Thomas Percy felt that he should have a big role in ruling England because he was such a powerful Catholic noble, and Elizabeth had been slowly chipping away at his land, giving it away to southern lords. Also, Mary, Queen of Scots, okay, she comes to England in 1568. So you're going to get a real busy couple of years following. 1568, Mary, Queen of Scots comes to England. 1569, the Northern Revolt. 1570, Elizabeth is excommunicated by the Pope. 1571, the Rodolphi plot. 1572, you got two executions. Okay, so of Catholic conspirators. So there's some big years coming up in this course. It's quite exciting history, really. So we'll ignore that. Yes, we have looked at the Puritan challenge and we have looked at the Catholic challenge. And we should know that the Catholics in the North were not happy with Protestant rule from down south. Now, even though Elizabeth tried to be quite a tolerant leader, she didn't force Catholics to convert to the Protestant faith. She was still deeply unpopular with them. Now, these are the two main conspirators. I'm going to just repeat it again. We've got Charles Neville here, the Earl of Westmoreland, and Thomas Percy, the Earl of Northumberland. So they're going to lead this rebellion. They think they're living that thug life, but they're not. It's all going to come to an end quite soon. They won't feel like gangsters for very long. So you're supposed to have watched this video already. It's one by Starkey. And the Duke of Norfolk is a third conspirator, but he's not executed in this. Elizabeth lets him off. He was actually Elizabeth's cousin. And he goes to the Northern Earls and hatches a plan to take over England. And those Northern Earls, obviously, as mentioned, the Earl of Northumberland and Westmoreland. And the Catholics revolt in 1569. This is obviously a failure because otherwise the course would end here. So what were the causes of this? Well, Mary, Queen of Scots had arrived and had an heir. And that had really secured confidence in her, because unlike Elizabeth, who never married, we already had someone to succeed her, which made her safe in essence. So these are the causes of the rising of the North. Now, also, let's not forget that the North was Catholic. It wasn't like the South, which had been swayed by Elizabeth. The North was still largely Catholic and didn't feel a great degree of loyalty towards Elizabeth. So Thomas Percy and Charles Neville, Northumberland and Westmoreland, they occupied Durham. They have an army of 4.5 thousand. This is in 1569, and so they make their move. Now, the Protestants don't tolerate this. So the Earl of Sussex comes to Elizabeth's defence. He has an army of 7,000, and another army set up by Baron Clinton, which makes Thomas Percy say, "Oh, pants," is 12,000 sides. So that's 19,000 versus 4,000. So that Baron Clinton really showed them who the boss was. Now, so as a consequence, they just have to run away. So the Earl of Westmoreland runs away to Scotland, and the Earl of go to Belgium, and the Earl of Northumberland and Thomas Percy runs away to Scotland. So the Northern Earls, they do a run and they just melt away. And the Earl of this makes me laugh. Thomas Percy, the Earl of Northumberland, he's actually executed. So he goes to Scotland and thinks he's going to be safe, but the Scots ransom him. Okay, they sell him to England, and he's executed in York in 1572. And that is a big statement from Elizabeth. She's not going to take this. She's not going to put up with a rebellion from anyone in the country. There's going to be no dissension. And to be honest, they didn't have a massive following, an army of 4,000. Well, it was vastly outnumbered. So you can see Elizabeth was a popular monarch. because she wasn't too hard on the Catholics. Right? You can see that Elizabeth was a strong and decisive monarch. When she was threatened, she leapt to action. Okay, so she isn't someone that just runs away like a coward, or does a bit of navel gazing, staring at her belly button, doesn't know what to do in a crisis. She acts, and she has good ministers in her stead. So, such as a very, very good example is the spy master, Sir Francis Walsingham, and obviously Baron Burghley, who was a Secretary of State. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we've seen this before. So we can see that Prince James, who became King James of England, inspired the Catholic North. Okay, so they thought they could have a Catholic king. But obviously, he became Protestant King of England later on because he was involved in the Gunpowder Plot. But I'm going on to a massively different topic. So just to reaffirm this once more, the North has Catholic sympathies, and maybe the Scots would help. They thought that they could get some help from Scottish armies as well. Armies are often about size. Tactics are important, but the Protestants had an upper hand. The turning point was that massive army by Baron Clinton, 12,000 inside. So brute force saved her reign. The contests for the Catholic nobles are terrible. There is never a. This is a very important thing to say. Actually, there's never ever an open revolt in England again. Okay, it's only plots, sneaky plots, and the change is that there's friendly relations between England and Scotland. Long-term consequences is that James, the Prince of Scotland, becomes the King of England, and it's a Protestant union. So there's some real long-term consequences to this. So Mary Queen of Scots, very interesting. She was driven out by Protestant nobles to live in England. She's accused of the murder of Lord Darnley. She comes to England. Elizabeth's like, what do I do with Mary Queen of Scots? She puts her under house arrest, but now Mary Queen of Scots is a problem. She's a thorn in Elizabeth's side. What can she do? What can she do with Mary Queen of Scots, who's inspiring all these plots and rebellions? What's she going to do with her? Well, we're going to find out in a later lesson. And that is your video for now. So let's stop recording. Let's stop recording anyway. So let's stop presenting. Let's see. So let's stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording.